All right. Well, we have a few more minutes to wait. Give people a little bit of a reprieve of time. We usually get between 8 and 15 people. Um, so we have several guests today. Garrett is a guest, Adam Aftergoot, and Shira Goldetsky, all guests. And the rest of us, Michael, Tim, Krista, myself, are members. Um, I won't get into the intros. By the way, we don't have a showcase today. We usually allocate about 10 or 15 minutes to a showcase. If anybody wants to wing it, they can do a 15-minute or so deep dive into what they do when we start in a couple of minutes.
I could do a quick intro. I don't know if I need to do deep dive, but I could take questions.
Okay, we could do that. We can hand it over to you. Maybe we'll break it up into two. We don't have to do 15 minutes. We could do seven
Yeah.
and seven.
I would say if anybody's doing anything on here, whether you use a guy like me or not, use automation. I had Michael do some automation with me back in the day, and he started using it. But don't spend time hunting all day, whether you're an entrepreneur, solopreneur, or you're teaching clients how to use stuff. You can edit faster, cheaper, better with non-linear editing. Obviously, the same thing with sales. Don't use tape. Use solutions that are going to automate the whole outreach. Like, hey, I want to send out 150 emails, invites, calendars, follows a day on LinkedIn. There's ways to do that without spending your time to do that. On email, you can send 20 to 30,000 emails out a month without breaking your email domain if you know how to do it correctly. So just be careful when you're doing automation around email, LinkedIn, that you're not going to break your LinkedIn, not going to break your email, and have a give and not a get, right? So the whole idea is like Michael and I, we do roundtables, we do these networking groups. We do this partly because it helps us with our business, but it helps you with your business, it helps you guys network, and it helps us learn about other people's needs, tactics, and pains and things that have happened that are really good. So come up with something that's going to be. I want you to be on my conference. I want you to be on my roundtable. I want you to be in my thought leadership group. And by the way, I'm Michael and I do A, B, and C. So always think about when you're trying to do this is spend more time selling, strategizing, and closing, and less time clicking buttons all day, going, "Hey, it's Michael from. I saw you on I saw you on LinkedIn. Thought I'd say hi." It's a complete waste of time if there's ways to use bots. That'd be my tip. Do you guys want to
That
learn
your
more?
is that your showcase? Or do you want to go deeper?
Yeah, I mean, I take questions. I really don't. To be honest, I'm not a big fan of like doing a long showcase because
Right.
I think it's too much me, right? I think
Yep.
it's more like here's what I do, here's how I help, here's some tips and tactics. Use events as a anchor. I see you're at this event, trade show, conference, LinkedIn event. Thought I'd say hi. When do you want to grab a cup of coffee, virtual cup of coffee? That's an event. That's an anchor. I see that you posted a job for a branding person, editing person, a sales development rep. I thought maybe you should take a look at what I do. Think about things that help them versus what you do. So that
Yeah.
I would kind of leave it there and get off my soapbox. But you'll do really well if you make it about them and don't make it about you and use an anchor, intent, signal data. Those types of things are give to get type of approach.
All right. Thank you. That was an impromptu introduction. I guess we'll get started. If anybody else wants to do a deeper dive into what they do for about 10 minutes or so, we don't have to start off with it,
Do
but
you want to ask anybody has any questions for what I just said, or real quick, or no? Mike, is that okay if there's any questions for that on
yeah,
that?
sure, sure. If anybody have a question for Michael, he does LinkedIn and email automation for lead gen.
Or things that you've used for lead gen that you want to share, discuss.
Yeah, I mean, I've also used it. Um, I had somebody working on it. And unfortunately, something happened with him. He's no longer doing it, so I may start cranking it up myself or something. We'll see.
Yeah, let me know if I
But
can help, Michael.
all right, appreciate it.
I'll charge you
Um,
this time.
yeah, charge me double. So why don't we get started? This is the Trusted Referral Network. We're a network of independent marketing services providers around the country. And we have a few people outside of North America. So Garrett is calling in from Costa Rica. And we meet twice a month on Tuesdays. So the second Tuesday and the fourth Tuesday of the month. Today being the fourth Tuesday, we meet at 5 p.m. When we meet on the second Tuesday, it's at 11 a.m. So the next meeting is going to be, I guess, in August. Love for people to bring guests. If you are a member, that's one of the benefits you have is to invite people, ideally marketing services providers, people that provide some sort of niche or general marketing service like all of us do. We have the person joining. So at these meetings, what we do is we get a chance to introduce ourselves, go around the table. Hey, Meili.
Hey guys, sorry for the delay.
Meili, right?
Yep, you got it.
Meili Ozdele. Okay, wonderful. So I was just doing the intro. And we oftentimes have a showcase, not always, but sometimes if anybody, as I said before, wants to wing it and do a 10-minute deep dive, Meili, that's open to anybody here. We don't have to start with that, but we could do a round of intros and you could think about whether you want to do a 10-minute deeper dive into what you do. But what I will do is let's start with the members who showed up. I'm going to drop in the chat the members and then the guests sort of in the order they showed up. And all right. Excuse my sweating a little bit. I got off the bike about 20 minutes ago. Took a shower, but you know, the sweating doesn't
got
stop.
your metabolism up.
Yeah, I know.
Michael,
But
I noticed that when I got done with jiu-jitsu and took a shower too fast, if I didn't cool down, I would still come out after being clean and start sweating again because you got to let yourself cool down before you get in there.
Yeah, I know.
Fact,
Anyway, I may have to take a shower again, but that's all right. I needed to be on time. So Krista, do you want to start? Hold on. I'm going to put up my timer. We have plenty of time, but where are my apps? Here they are. Apps. They changed this. They change the interface around on a regular basis. So why don't I give it, I don't know, we'll do it 4 minutes for each person. If everybody else would go on mute so that Krista can take the full screen when she starts. Krista, you're up.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
All right. The question I like to ask is, who trusts you and why do your people trust you? I'm Krista Janik, ghostwriter and blogger, Wise Words That Matter. I'm all about boosting my clients' credibility, getting them more trust, and really, because what matters is when I work with speakers, thought leaders, they're idea people. They've got thoughts and dreams and visions, and they want to share with the world, and they want to get their ideas trusted. They want people to buy in so that they'll get more speaking engagements, more takers on their products and services. And that's why I joined this group, Trusted Referral Network. I'm from Long Island, New York, and I work with people in actually different countries. I have a client in the UK right now as well. My goal in joining this network is to learn from other marketing professionals. I'm a writer primarily. That's what I do. That's what I love to learn new things. Very curious person, interview people, get to know them, do my background research, and then write about what I've learned. That's why when I joined this group, my goal was to network, not only learning things from other marketing folks, also getting some mutual referral partnerships going, because I don't do what many of you do. I don't have the marketing analytics background. My background is journalism and in writing for nonprofits and writing for all different types of business clients. And because I'm such a curious person, because I'm an idea person as well, and I love to learn and new things, I've discovered that people tend to gravitate toward me as if they're speakers and thought leaders. I also have my inspirational story, which I usually share at the beginning, and I decided to switch it up and share it at the end. I'm also a speaker and amateur skier who just happens to be blind. I like to tell people not to hide from their stories, because if we don't tell our own stories, people are going to tell them for us anyway. We might as well influence, direct the stories that we're telling about ourselves, our businesses, leverage those stories. I used to hide from the stigma of my blindness, whereas now I leverage the strength of having overcome fear, faced challenges, and gone out there and been kind of the everyman in terms of facing a fear. A lot of times disability inspirational stories tend to be the extremes. They're the person who can't get out of, who gets out of bed every day. Oh, how inspiring, the person got out of bed. Or the other extreme, wow, this is a mega athlete, brilliant, top of their game. What about the girl who just went on the bunny slope? What about the girl who started a business? What about everyday or maybe not so everyday things? What about the girl who faced some believed was impossible? So that's my mini spotlight. Krista Janik, ghostwriter and blogger, wise words that matter.
Wow. I guess you were paying attention to the timer because it's down to the last 4 seconds.
I
All right.
actually wasn't, but that was great.
Oh, somebody's got music. Is that the end of the music? Wow. I guess that was that's the end. Did somebody put that on, or was that the music that came on with the timer? That's interesting.
Timer.
Yeah, they're changing it up all the time. I guess I could probably change the music. Michael Filato, do you want to do a quick, I know you did an intro, but do you want to do it again or just add something?
Nah, I think everybody heard me.
Okay. Heard you enough.
Put
All
my
right.
information in the chat.
Yes, everybody should do that. Drop your information in the chat, your contact information, your LinkedIn, and I will encourage everybody to download the chat at the end. Okay, Tim Gannon, you're up. Tim, are you there? You're on mute, Tim. I put you on mute because you had interrupted the. Go ahead.
Yes. Well, I wanted to say, Michael, you created. I was going to use you as a creative buffer to gather my thoughts, and then you bailed on me.
Well, I already did. Who wants to repeat? And then people go, "Oh, I already heard this guy."
I was praying for it. No, I'm Tim Gannon. I have a company called Big Work Digital. We're a video production company specializing in very cinematic, highly customized videos. We do. We're a small company. We're very boutiquey, but we do really cool stuff. We just finished a really cool project that we shot on Ellis Island. That was exciting, and that started out, and I'm going to give you like personal stuff. So that started out as saying you cannot shoot in the museum when people are there. That was you can shoot from 6 to 9 a.m. and then anytime after. Well, that went from, Tim, we love your crew, we love your company, we love your ideas. You can do whatever you want. So we were shooting in the Great Hall. We were shooting in the main area. We were shooting all over Ellis Island whenever we wanted to get the appropriate B-roll for the job that we did. It was really fun. I followed that up a week later with a job for a language immersion school. And I want to say this, I got these jobs not because our videos are so amazing, because I'm sure Garrett will do amazing videos also. We got the job because we understood who the clients were. And our pitch said, we understand who you are, we understand what you want to do, and here's how we're going to do it. That's how we got these jobs. And in both cases, my budget was 50% more than the nearest competitor. We got the job, we did the job, we executed the job. The client, both clients are beyond ecstatic. And that is what like jazzes me. It jazzes me to get a pitch, make a pitch, get the pitch, do what we say we're going to do, and then a little bit more, and then deliver on time and call it a day. Tim Gannon,
Right.
big work. And if I have 3 words to say about my company, it would be cinematic, engaging, and enduring.
Very cool. Thank you. And I'm so glad to hear that you're feeling better.
Ugh.
You'll have to write a little story about your experience, or maybe not. You just want to leave it behind.
Probably not.
All right. All right. Keith Reynolds.
Hey,
Keith, are you with
everybody.
us? There he is. Go ahead.
Content marketing sucks. Am I right?
It's hard.
Uh, I don't meet many people who say, I love to work on my content marketing. You know, that people don't have a strategy. They don't understand the ROI. They don't know how they're going to measure it. My background has been in thought leadership and content marketing, back from when we had to go chase editors to get our thought leadership and our case studies distributed. And I've ridden the HubSpot wave. I'm a HubSpot certified inbound marketer and a HubSpot partner. And I had worked over 10 years doing onboarding for HubSpot. And about 4 months before the pandemic, I put a book up on Amazon with a little 7-step process that I used in my clients and my agency work, as well as a CMO. And I always followed the same process to get content marketing down to a groove swing where we can interview the people who have the thoughts and turn it into material to share, thought leadership. And what I realized over the last couple of years is nobody gives a shit, excuse my French, about having a methodology. What they want are results. And so in order to follow that path, you need to have a methodology. But in the last, at the beginning of this year, I'll say, I've created Publio Studio. And we've done over 70 interviews, and we turn those interviews into content. But we also turn it into content marketing plans, editorial calendars, your ideal customer profile, the customer journey. And so the content that we deliver by interviewing you or hosting a roundtable or having you do a presentation or having you interview a customer or having us interview a customer, all of those are really, what I've learned is that podcasting as a model is a great way to collect data. So we've opened up the studio and we're now having people come in and collaborate with us. We turn that into amazing amounts of content, and content with a purpose. And then you get video clips because we're asking you questions or you're talking about things that you already know about. You get very natural video clips, and my clients are now having their LinkedIn profiles they're talking heads nodding up and down on their LinkedIn. And so Publio Studio is all of a sudden exploding, where I couldn't sell a methodology to buy a loaf of bread. All of a sudden we have people lining up to get in the studio. So welcome to Publio Studio. We want to give you a Genius Bar-like experience and create content and solve for the problem that content marketing sucks. Thanks.
So essentially, instead of telling people how to grow and make their own bread, you're just selling them a loaf of bread.
Right. And we have a special, come into the studio for a session for $500. We'll give you 3 videos. We'll give you a blog post. We'll give you a LinkedIn post, and we'll give you the transcript, and we'll give you some ideas on how to market your content. So you have a content marketing plan.
and I just went through it, and I'm excited to go through the content that Keith sent me a link to. I think that's the next step.
That link has almost 60 pages worth of content that we created for you from that.
Wow. Okay, I will.
Lots of ideas.
All right, wonderful. Good. Look at that music. That's great. Okay. Next up, we have our guests. Let's see, Adam Aftergut, and then Garrett Voren, Shira Goldetsky, Meili Oztale, and then Cassie Maurice. So let's give it away to, let's see, Adam. You there? Adam, are you with us? I see you're on mute and your video is not on. Let's move on to Garrett Voren.
Unmute.
There he is.
There we go. So my company is called TRN Productions. We produce videos mostly for nonprofits, especially with a focus on health and science, education, human services, with different calls to action. I really help my clients get to a clear one because sometimes they're not so clear. And it can be about raising awareness and funds, or attract new donors, or engage existing supporters, build your board, celebrate a milestone, and I was an actor for a long time, for about 15 years. And because I'm Dutch, I played many Nazis and Russians, and it got a little boring. So that's why I got into this business. But I'm good at making people feel comfortable in front of the camera, so they speak from their heart. And when they do that, an audience will connect to it and take action. I've been really lucky. I have awesome clients. I worked with 92Y and Columbia University Medical Center, do a lot of video for Scholastica education. So mostly focused on education and health and healthcare. And pre-production is essential. We do that so everything falls into place, because often clients don't exactly know what it entails, and we explain everything and make sure that they understand it: budget, script, locations, permits, insurance, building location and security, all that stuff. And we make it a priority to be extremely respectful to our clients, especially with their donors. For example, at Columbia University, you go to a donor's home who's about to donate $500 million, and you go to their home and you have to really make sure that everything is calm and collected and clean, and they feel at ease, and they have a great makeup artist so they can perform well, feel comfortable, and perform. So the people who see the video at a gala or on a website be compelled to donate as well. Love my job. I'm in Costa Rica now, so I do all post-production here. I do all the editing here, and I go wherever I need to go in order to, wherever I need to go in order to. Sorry, my dogs are barking like crazy. There's somebody passing. Be it in New York or be it in Seattle. Right now, I'm working for a giant law firm, actually, but they have a set of videos about diversity. So I'm working on that. It has sort of a bit of a nonprofit angle to it. So that's what I do. And interesting. I'm here because you guys are all marketing professional. Turns out that, for example, this job that I'm doing now for this law firm, I got through a marketing agency. They don't have someone like me on staff. And that way, so referrals through marketing agencies turn out to be really working out well for me. So there you have it. Thank you so much.
Do you know David Hoffman of
Yes.
You know David, okay.
Yes, I don't know David Hoffman. I've heard his name, but I actually
Citizen Race Car.
Yes. His company's called Citizen Race Car. He's a podcast guy, but he works in the same, mostly in not-for-profits and science and education.
Okay.
That's where he tends to work.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So it might be a good intro. All right, there's the orchestral music, end of the movie. All right, Shira Goldetsky, are you with us? Shira on mute twice. There she
Yes,
is.
I'm with you guys. How's it going?
Good. You're
I'll
up.
turn my video on for a moment here. So I'm just a little bit sleep deprived. I was just kind of like flying back today from Minneapolis, but I'm gonna do my best to yeah, to talk with you guys for a bit. I think my video is not coming on, so
Nope,
let's
that's okay.
just um I'm just gonna try real quick to mess with the setting, and I think I
Okay.
actually know how to fix it. Testing. Well, I'm really sorry for that. I don't know why it's not coming. I don't want to take everyone's time, but
Yeah.
what I will do is I will put my LinkedIn in the chat so you can at least see a picture of me. That's the general idea. And yeah, I'll tell everybody a little bit about myself. And so thank you so much, Michael, for hosting, and thank you, Adam, for the intro. Adam is a real super connector and has connected with me with many great people. But yeah, I think I come from a little bit of a different world than some of the folks in this group, but not entirely. So yeah, my background is I have a boutique recruitment firm working with startups and also larger technology companies. We do a lot of work on the executive side, technical and non-technical. So when I say non-technical, that means that we place a lot of work in sales and marketing and building out entire sales and marketing organizations, as well as hiring for key placements. So we've really gotten to know marketing as a discipline well, and what companies need to succeed in lots of different domains of marketing. And it's a lot of fun. I think some of the marketing candidates we speak with are some of the most interesting people we speak with. So we love doing work in marketing. And it's always a great way to make a relationship with folks. You know, marketers are usually really articulate and make good relationships. And so we do have a partner referral program. So basically, anyone who sends us business that we're able to make a relationship, you receive like a percentage of the first few placements. We have a rev share agreement. So we would love to work with anyone in the group in this way. And yeah, we specialize in working with startups, B2B and B2C. We also do some work with larger technology companies. We've done a lot of work in everything from health tech to property technology to fintech, insurtech, AI, ML generally. Really, pretty much everything across the board. We've worked extensively with Israeli startups entering the US, have done the same for, right now, we're doing the same with a British and a Chinese company. So US market entry is definitely an interest and a passion. I've lived abroad extensively, as have some other members of our team. So we love working with international people and teams. And yeah, that's a little bit about me. I live in Greenpoint, Brooklyn, and so often in the city or Brooklyn, as well as traveling around the U.S. or the world. And yeah, that's the basics. And happy for any questions if anyone has any.
So sure, should we send people who are in the job search process, obviously marketing
Great,
folks to you?
great question. People always ask this, and my answer is that the roles we work on are super niche. So usually when clients come to us, it's because they haven't been able to fill a role on their own, or it's like highly unique. So although we always, pretty much almost always have marketing roles open, they're going to be highly unique. As one example, right now we're working with machine learning, ops company, and they're looking for someone who's done this exact type of developer focused marketing that is top down, not bottom up. So it's like that's just an example of like how niche and nuanced some of our roles are. So people send us folks all the time that are like really talented. It's like someone's wife or someone's brother's neighbor, whoever it is. And so we love to get those folks in our database because we love to know about great candidates, but it would be almost like a small miracle if we had the perfect fit for them at a time. We're a boutique firm, so we only know about so many roles at a time. But we love to get, like I said, great people in our database. We may not be able to have a call with each one unless there's something relevant, in the hopper, so to speak, right now. But yeah, referrals like that are always welcome, and we can at least get them into our network for the future. And yeah, any other questions?
Well, thank you for that, and thank you for joining us.
Absolutely. Thank you for
All
having
right.
me, Michael.
Absolutely. Mei Lee, close delay.
All right,
Take it
mic's
away.
on. We're good to go.
You're up.
Good to see you guys. can't remember if from the last time I was here if there were others that were here before. But that's right. We'll kind of start from the top. I've got a 37-year-old marketing agency out of the Detroit metro area. We're a full service metro agency. We have our own creative team, tech team. We have our own marketing team. We got writers. Everybody's in house. Everybody's been working together for 13 years since the financial crisis, and uh, it's a team of 24. We just lost one person uh, due to health reasons, which was unfortunate. She had been working with us for such a long time. Um, in any case, one of the reasons I'm interested in uh, attending the Trusted Referral Network is we always run across projects where we need help, external resources, that could range from a variety of areas, whether it's email marketing, content, whether it's writing. It's a variety of possibilities, including editing. And my purpose here is to see if we can find partners that can help us out on projects whenever they're needed. And so that's kind of why I'm here. A few quick things. If you were to tell me what do we specialize in, geez, after all these years, it's hard to say what do we specialize in. But as you can imagine, we're doing a lot of AI type work nowadays. We have a conversion rate optimization program, for example, that uses AI and a variety of other tools, and we can increase the number of leads that the website generates from the existing traffic by 200%. We've got some case studies. They're solid. It's one of those things where you're taking all this knowledge and experience and putting it to work. And so it works. But that's just one example. We have other programs that are involved in public relations, brand marketing, in which we have access to thousands of journalists and bloggers and reporters and so on and so forth, so we can help clients, that need brand marketing and to get their name out there through programs like that. Website development is second nature nowadays. So whether it's performance, SEO, take your pick, all these different things are part of what we get involved in. Some quick notes. Number one is I have 21,000 really close friends on LinkedIn. So tag me on your posts. Depending upon the size of your network, by all means, I'm happy to react and put a solid comment with hashtags in there, help to expand your reach. Just tag me. Believe me, I'm the only Meliostole on LinkedIn. The other thing that I will mention is, as you can imagine, we always are open to referral partners. So depending upon projects that you may come across, if you're looking for a solid marketing team like ours that can bring a wealth of knowledge to any project and to solve any type of problems that a client might have, by all means, well, as you can imagine, we have commissions for our referral partners based on the size of the project. Ranging in from 10 to 20% per month, as long as the client's with us. So these are a few things to keep of note. I think I kept it in time.
You definitely did. And now here comes the music.
Oh, thank God.
Right. Cassie Maurice, who I met this morning and who was into macrame and one other thing, candle making. You here? Is she still here? She might have jumped off. Right. Let's see.
She was burning
She's burning the candles at both ends. Yeah, exactly. All right. Zev Gotkin, member who came in a little late.
Yeah, sorry, I had to deal with my baby over here. Thank you. Zev Gotkin, founder of ZEV Media, a boutique digital advertising, really full service marketing agency based in Queens, New York. I'm really looking to collaborate with other marketers and say a lot of my best referral sources usually come from other marketers, fractionals, Maybe they do something we don't do, like PR or shooting video, or maybe there is something that we overlap on. Let's say they do SEO or social media. We do those, but they could bring us in, let's say, for PPC, Google Ads, or something like that. Our main thing is doing ads. We're usually getting 10 to 32 times ROAS. Our niche vertical right now is hospitality, and I plan to be rolling out more in terms of my branding and things like that, that focuses more on that to reflect it. But we do a lot with resorts, caterers, restaurant groups, things like that. And a lot of that's a mix of lead gen and e-commerce. Having said that, we've worked with like most marketers, we're chameleons. We've worked with law firms, we've worked with healthcare, we've worked with product, pretty much every kind of business you can think of, and have great results, depending on different services, organic and paid. And we can also be a great white label solution or a referral. We pay usually 10% for leads, usually retainer monthly basis. And I guess I want to help make introductions to everyone that I meet here. I always do. Every person I meet, I try to make some intros. If they're not your client, at least people could introduce you to more people that could be a client or work with you. I have a podcast you could check out, the Z Learning Podcast. I've had some interesting guests, a lot of people in the marketing world like Jay Baer, Dave Kerpen, Peter Shankman, as well as people a little outside of that, like the CEO of Tommy Bahama, Frank Abagnale, and hope to always get some new guests and talk about interesting topics. And yeah, I guess I'm here to help anyone. My only ask, I guess, would be, find me on LinkedIn. I used to post every day. I've come back. I'm posting a lot more often again. I'd love to get some likes and comments, reactions. Maybe if you wouldn't mind, I can send you the post so you see it. And what else? Just introductions to CMOs, marketers, people in decision-making roles, especially if they're hospitality or travel-related businesses or luxury products. But business owners and other verticals are great as well. So I think that's it. I think I nailed it all.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. And how old is your baby?
He just 3 months and like 1 week.
Congratulations.
Thank
That's
you.
wonderful. All right. We'll try one more time. Let's see if Adam Aftergut. Are you still here? You're on mute. Joined but never sort of showed up. And then Cassie Maurice, is she left? She must have left. Okay. So did I miss anybody? All right. So I will go. Let's cancel that. Start it up again. So my name is Michael Bendit, as you all know. My core business is selling software development services for about a dozen boutique software development shops. And a lot of what we do, maybe 70% or so, is websites, e-commerce sites in the marketing world. And that's why I run this networking group. We get a lot of business from other folks that don't have the technical skills in-house, or even if they've got a programmer or two, they may not have the bandwidth or the specific expertise. There are a lot of platforms out there. There is consolidation. So, WordPress and Shopify are taking a lion's share of the market. But there are some platforms out there that people are still on, like Drupal and Magento, for which there are a dwindling number of capable resources. My job is to help you bring my teams who have that skill set to the table. I'll tell you a story that I'm working on right now, or an opportunity that I'm working on right now. I got a call from Christina Hagopian. Some of you may know her. She's a creative director, lives up in Cape Cod. And she has a client who is a small reinsurance company. It's a division. Small reinsurance doesn't really make a lot of sense. Reinsurance is in the billions, typically, or hundreds of millions. But they're a US division of a foreign company, and they wanted to build an intranet. And there's lots of tools out there, internet, software as a service, intranets. So building it from scratch probably doesn't make sense. So I said, well, we do custom development, but let me do some research for you. So did a whole bunch of research, spoke with a number of vendors, got their pricing, got, what their capabilities are. And then I also did some research to see if we could build this in WordPress. And sure enough, there are tools to make it happen, at least for what the client needs, which is not a very complex offering or range of capabilities. They're looking for a employee directory, a news feed, calendar, a document directory, typical things that you'd find in an intranet, and all of that can be done in WordPress. So we're pitching that as a solution. And it's going to save them a lot of money. We're probably all in somewhere around 10,000, whereas that's without licensing fees. Whereas almost all the other solutions have a $10,000 or so integration cost or implementation cost, and then depending on the number of employees you have, in this case 200, it's about 10,000 plus a year. So those are the types of problems that I like to solve, help people solve, find the resources. If I don't have them, at my within my group of 12. But most of the times, I've set myself up to be able to say yes, because I do have that skill set in-house. The other market that we tend to do a lot of work with is startups. So we're building first products. We're taking over from a freelancer. We're building some back-end system that's unique to their business, almost entirely custom development with platforms. So always looking to connect with other agencies. Love to have people come to this networking group or marketing services providers. And I like to be known as sort of the software guy, the software resource. All right, let's go back to the gallery mode. We still have Adam hanging out here, but he's not shown up. We have we have 15 minutes. Does anybody, Meili, I was wondering about if you have any interest in sharing with about your CRO work using AI.
Before I get to that, I got a question because I was taking notes as everyone was talking. Did I miss Michael? Did he?
Michael? Oh, Michael did start off. Filato, yeah, he did a short showcase.
Gotcha. Maybe he started off before I joined. I did join late.
He did like a short showcase. By the way, I am recording this and I do post it. So
okay, cool. I can catch him on
yeah, you can catch him if you know Michael.
All right,
yeah,
good.
You can catch him on the video, exactly.
Exactly. All right, guys. Yeah, so the CR program is interesting. We actually, as you can imagine, I can go back to the 1990s when we were doing website development, and at the end of the day, it was still back then even, how do you convert visitors to something, whatever something is, right? And so this has been an ongoing story for years. It's and for that matter, decades. But I think as time progressed, the tools became more efficient and effective. And the tools became easier to integrate because you're not just using one tool when you're doing CRO. You've got the A/B testing going on, you got heat maps going on, you've got UX UI changes, you've got the AI tool in place, you're looking at Google Analytics, you're looking at Search Console, you're trying to pull all these different things together and figure out what's going on, and you're doing this almost on a weekly basis, especially with this crunch time frame that we do with this project, which is 4 months. And so I won't go into the other tools because some of the things I just listed, I'm sure most of you guys are aware of. But the AI tool is kind of fun. I'm a little bit of a geek on this, especially on anything new. And so what the AI tool is doing is, I will say this, it doesn't work with B2C. And the reason it doesn't work with B2C is because you have a website with multiple products, multiple messages, and trying to get visitors who are looking for different things to make this happen is not as effective. I'm not saying you can't do it, but most of our clients are B2B anyway, so in the B2B world, this works. What the AI tool is doing, and especially in the BDB world, if somebody likes you, they're going to keep coming back a few times before they finally say, yes, I want to talk to you. And so the AI tool is creating what's called the journey funnel. So it's keeping track of how long they spent on the website, what type of topics they went to, meaning what pages they went to within the website, how long they spent there, when did they come back, what's the time difference between their visits, and identifying some, for example, further down the funnel, especially when it considers them to be in a decision making stage. What the AI tool is actively doing is feeding a call to action. So we all have call to actions on our websites, granted, and we put them wherever we can to make sure that the visitor clicks on them. But those ultimately are passive. They're passive call to actions. Of course, we need them. We're going to put them there. But what the AI tool is doing is based on that person's journey within this funnel that it is personalizing, it actively feeds a call to action to them. So, for example, at the top of the funnel, when they first get there, the call to action might be a little bit more passive, meaning that it's when I say passive, I mean informationally passive. It's just saying, hey, you want to talk to us or learn more information. It might pop up with a small video, whatever that looks like. But further down the tunnel, it gets more aggressive based on however we set this thing up. And essentially, if it decides that you're in the decision-making phase, it'll get a little bit more aggressive and say, you really need to talk to us. And so that's the fun part about this AI tool. I do enjoy it.
So Tim Gannon has a question. Tim.
I think you may have answered it. So you're saying that AI, with your tool with AI, as somebody is scrolling through the website, the AI is sensing that somebody is more interested, and it will automatically prompt them, give them a CTA.
Yeah.
Based. Fucking cool.
I know. Tell me about it. I was geeked.
So do you have, is it possible for you to share an example, or is that hard to do because you have to have these
That's
sort of...
harder to do, especially with my with any browser that I'm using, because I'm going to client websites all the time. I don't know it's going to even prompt from on my end.
Right.
But to answer, I mean, we started this whole project back in 2019. And so we have a partner in Europe that we're working with on it. And essentially over the years, it just kept on getting better and better. Like I said, it's just a lot of fun.
So have you done any videos or blog posts or anything on this? Because it sounds
We
fascinating.
have more CRO information you can shake a stick at out there. I mean, come to our website. You got YouTube videos. We got, I don't know if they could pick. We've done webinars around this. We have a lot of information. I'm happy
Oh,
to
good.
share more specific details with anybody. Just reach out to me. I'll get back to you.
So that's one of your real areas of specialty is conversion rate
Well,
optimization.
and just to kind of put this into perspective, we really hit this project harder during the pandemic. I mean, let's face it, everything was slowed down. And so, having been through the financial crisis with Detroit being ground zero back in 2009, believe me, we had our fair share of emergency planning well in place before this whole thing happened. And so we took the opportunity to do a variety of different things, including rebranding ourselves, our new website, and so on and so forth, but then really focusing on this product or I should say the service, because we usually come in to clients as a solution. 10 grand a month, 15 grand a month, whatever, 25 grand a month. We're bringing the whole team together and including our external third-party resources as well. And so to that extent, the question was, as we get out of the pandemic, how do we secure clients? Because they're not going to want to run. Even the guys, our clients are like 50 million, 100 million. We have a few clients that are, in the billion range as well. And they're not going to come and start spending money like crazy out of the pandemic. So we decided to come up with something that was smaller as a package that people could really, sink their teeth into. And so this is like $2,500 a month for 4 months, and it shows results, and we're constantly in touch with the client. So a lot of touch points, a lot of metrics, a lot of analysis, interpretations, working with them, making changes on a regular basis. And the idea is to not only build the relationship, but to show the results and ultimately gain trust. And so with that, the idea is after 4 months, they would move on to something bigger and better.
Yeah,
and so that's kind of where we went
it's
to.
the grout between the tiles.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you have in your videos, do you have like case studies and stuff?
The videos, I don't remember if we have case studies in the videos, but we have some case studies that we've prepared that I can send out to everybody.
Neat. Yeah.
Like for example, one of the case studies, and this is something I didn't expect. This was like really cool. We actually reduced the amount of time before somebody becomes a contact or it becomes a lead. So we were able to show in the beginning and benchmark this project in terms of how long did it take somebody to become a lead before we started. And we ran that benchmark in 30 days before. And then over the next 4 months, we were able to see a decline. We reduced it from, let's say, somebody coming back to a website 5 times down to 3. I mean, there was, don't quote me on this, I think there was like an 80% or 75, 80% reduction in the amount of time somebody became a lead. Because you're constantly feeding them more information along the way. And so it doesn't make a difference what page within the website that they're on. They don't have to go be on the contact us page. They could be in the middle of one of your insight pages, and all of a sudden the AI tool says, hey, what do you think of this?
So when you say become a lead, that's when they actually volunteer or
provide
their
they
contact
volunteer and say, hey, reach out to me. They provide their email address, their name, a minimum, and then go from there. Yeah.
Very cool. Wonderful. Fun. Yeah, that sounds great. Thank you for that spur of the moment showcase. Really neat stuff.
I love talking. I can just keep going.
you can stay at it for a while. All right, Zev, take care. Adam, I'm sorry we didn't get a chance to hear you today. I guess you'll come back another time. Any other topics, questions? By the way, if you didn't put your information in the chat, do so now. And now would also be a good time to download it, so you have everybody's contact info. Anybody have any questions for anyone in the group, for me, for anybody else?
I'd like to connect with Keith. I asked you, Garrett. Always love to talk to other video guys. Love to connect with you. I can make an announcement. My client is taking me to Kuala Lumpur.
Nice.
Oh, cool.
When would
I go shooting there, or are you just having fun?
Gonna shoot half day. The rest of the week, it's all chill.
Good for you.
I've done a lot of free work over the years, and he said, "This is your." He's paid for my tech, but not my services. And now he says, "Here's your payment. I'm taking
you." Very nice. Very nice.
I'm going to Kuala Lumpur.
And you're not even a Supreme Court justice,
Costa Rica.
Right?
I've been to Costa Rica several times. I'm not. Kuala Lumpur wasn't on my radar.
Right. Too funny.
Right.
Just a quick note, Keith, I will want to reach out to you as well. Krista, right now we don't need any writers, but I've got your info. So when the opportunity arises, I'm going to reach out to you as well.
I appreciate that.
All right, wonderful. Well, thank you all. Our next meeting is on August 13th at 11 a.m.
Thank you, Michael.
And
I won't be able to make that one, but I'll catch up with you guys in September.
All right. Take care.
Take care. See you guys. Look forward to meeting you. Same, Garrett, Krista. We should catch up.
Good.
Take care, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Pleasure.
Take care.
Bye.